It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins. And it's all up next.
The address is 347 Don Shula Drive in honor of the legendary coach. The stadium is Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Good to be with you. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here in the booth. Greg, we got a couple of teams who love to throw the football, and you know how guys say, hey, we're not going against the other offense. We're going against the other team's defense. Greg, these star wide receivers, you know they're watching what the other guy does on the field here today.
Oh, in their minds, there's no question. They are competing against one another, and I think that's what makes this league so fun is when these guys, they know each other, they study each other, they work together in the off seasons. A lot of times they're friends, but come game day, there is no question. At the end of this one, yes, they want their teams to win, but when they put their two box scores up next to each other, there's going to be some bragging rights come this offseason.
The kicker, Blake Grupe, set to start it. And off we go from South Florida. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Miami offense will make their way onto the field, led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
One of the few southpaws we have playing quarterback in the NFL, Mike, and while he doesn't have one of the strongest arms, he makes up for it with great anticipation and pinpoint accuracy. So what it does, it allows him to throw very catchable balls. A lot of his receivers do a lot of the damage after the catch, and only time's going to tell how this one plays out. But when he's on his game, they're due for a lot of points. This defense wanted to come out early in this game and take the fight to the offense, and boy, did they ever set the tone on the very first play, keeping that carry to no gain.
To throw on second down, it's Tua. He runs with it.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
Here now, 3rd and 5. In motion, it's Waddle. Tua now on 3rd down. Sending it deep for Waddle. And he will go all the way. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Terrific way to start this one, Greg, on the opening drive. Getting the ball in the air, down the field, and into the end zone for 6.
We wondered all week, Mike, if this secondary would get tested, especially as the game progressed. Well, we didn't have to wait very long. I mean, a big play early, and we got ourselves a 6-0 ball game.
Jason Sanders on for the point after. The kick is good, and the Dolphins will take a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. On the return, it's Williams. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. So the Saints ready to go to work on offense for the first time. And their quarterback is the all-time leading passer for the Raiders, Derek Carr, the veteran.
If he's going to lead his team to a win, he has to be smart with his decision-making. The last thing you want to do is give the opposing team an extra possession solely because you got reckless with the ball. As long as he is calculated with those risks, I think they have a good chance today coming out on top.
Here's 2nd and 6. Shaheed in motion. Second down, Carr. And it's a reception for Taysom Hill. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
On 1st and 10, Carr. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Second and 7. Here's a toss to the right for Kamara. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Carr. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
First down throw for Carr. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
They'll motion their tight end Johnson. And they're going to get to him and take him down, taken back to the other side of midfield.
Just another example of poor decision-making. I mean, making a bad play even worse. There's nothing there on 2nd down. Just throw the ball into the stands and move on to 3rd. Now you take that sack, and it's going to take a miracle to stay on the field.
Carr working out of the gun. Oh, got him again the 2nd time with a sack on this opening drive.
Sometimes you just have to know when the play is over and live to play another down. He has pressure coming right at him, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he tries to escape, he tries to get creative, and he ends up losing a lot more yards than he should have.
The Saints lining up in punt formation. Malik Washington deep for Miami. A fair catch taken, and they're going to start right at their own 20-yard line. The Dolphins offense ready to get going with their 2nd possession. They had that lightning bolt to open the game. The long touchdown. They'll try to build on the lead now. This drive, that's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Howden. And he's going to be looking at a short field for the offense after the INT. Chance to tie the game or even take the lead.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
The Saints offense ready to see what they can do on their 2nd possession. They can get back into this quickly now. Very short field ahead. It is 1st and 10. Now Carr. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Taysom Hill. Touchdown, Saints.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their second possession.
Blake Groupie comes on for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Saints will tie things up at 7-7 here in the opening quarter. So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. Here comes D. Eskridge on the return. A good return as he takes it across the 30. Out comes Miami and the offense to get started on their next drive. We'll try to break out of this deadlock. We are all even at 7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Achane. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. He dropped for the loss of a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
They'll stay on the ground with Achane. He'll manage only about 3, so it will bring up 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tua. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
So on 4th down, it's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. Cedric Wilson back to receive. And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. Now out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with 1st down. Now Carr. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. Calais Campbell, the longtime veteran, in there to bring him down.
They just have to be better on 1st down. They've got to find a way to continue to operate ahead of the sticks, and I don't mind throwing it on 1st down. That is the best down in football to attempt to pass, but if they don't protect the passer, none of it's going to matter.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. To throw, it's Carr. His pass taken in by Shaheed. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 9, and 3rd down coming up.
Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. That'll be caught. It's Alvin Kamara.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough third down situation, and now it brings up fourth down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Dolphins offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. In trouble, and down he goes.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. The tight end, Jonnu Smith, secures it. And he'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tagovailoa. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down? It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The Saints offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Here's Carr throwing from the pistol. That's to the sideline, taken in by Johnson.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
They face 2nd down and 7. Olave is the motion man. Now a 2nd down throw from Carr. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short gain.
Now a 3rd and 2. Play action now. It's Carr. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. They get 10 yards on the hook up there. It's good for a Saints 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
Here's 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Kamara. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
What makes great linebackers stand out from the pack is their instincts and their vision. In this case, the linebacker has his keys, brings him right where the ball is going, and he's able to make a play at the point of attack and keep this to a no gain.
They'll go again here with Kamara. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 7. To throw is Carr. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Tyrell Dodson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but quite a turn of events here. He has set up the offense with 1st and goal.
So often, Mike, defenders are just happy the ball ends up in his hands, but not this guy. I mean, the catch was one thing, but then the party really got started. I mean, look at this return. He gets one block. He gets another. He's got teammates springing him all over the field, and this offense is lucky this didn't go all the way back for a pick 6.
The Dolphins offense ready to get back at it. And now, after the quick change, following the interception and the return, they're going to try to pay it off with 6. It is 1st down and goal. Here's Achane. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Devon Achane. Touchdown, Dolphins. That is a dream scenario. The offense handed the ball 1st and goal. And, Greg, they take it to the end zone for 6.
They're not going to have many easier drives than that, Mike. I mean, to get the ball not only in a short field, but in a goal-to-go situation, you don't get a lot of those chances. You have to cash them in, and that's exactly what they were able to do.
Sanders here for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Dolphins will move out to a 14-7 lead. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. Williams now to return. Now an opening past the 30. And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. The Saints offense back onto the field for their next possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. Carr. Shaheed with the catch. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. In motion is Hill. Now Kamara. Good running there. Getting close to midfield. Let's mark him there. And a 1st down.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. They'll go play action with Carr. That is caught downfield. It's Shaheed. And he will score. Rashid Shaheed. Touchdown, New Orleans.
This is a great example here, Mike, of an offense and a quarterback that is just in complete control and rhythm. Not only is he able to deliver this ball on target downfield, but the accuracy is what allows his receiver to stay on his feet, pick up the remaining yards after the catch, and walks it in for a touchdown.
On comes Blake Grupe for the PAT. He's got it. The Saints will tie things up. We are all even at 14. So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. Here's Eskridge now to return it. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Dolphins offense starting to trot out for this next possession. This one, everything we could have hoped for to this point. All even at 14. They'll start this drive with first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. Off he goes. And Tua very wisely hits the deck after picking up the first down. A first down there. Gain of 14 yards.
A quarterback who can extend the play with his legs, Mike, is just such a key element to today's modern offenses. You can see there was nowhere for him to go with the ball, but he decides to turn into a runner, picks up a great gain, and ultimately a first down.
That's taken in by Achane. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
A shotgun snap for Tua. He keeps it himself. And Tua very wisely hits the deck after picking up the first down. Hill brought in motion. Play action. Tagovailoa. And this ball batted away and incomplete. Paulson Adebo, the good coverage, gets his hand in there to knock it away.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make third down manageable and take your chances picking up a key third down?
They need to get to the 29 here, facing third down. Back to throw is Tua. First grab of the game for Tyreek, and he's got a first down.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. But think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throwaway.
Outside of a turnover, this was probably the worst-case scenario. Immediate pressure in his face with nowhere to go with the ball downfield. Just get the ball out of your hand. Live to play another down. Instead, he retreats backwards and leads to a massive loss.
Tua. That's caught by Smith on the right side. And they're going to take this into the red zone to the 15-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
1 quarter in the books. Knotted at 14 on the scoreboard. And we're back to South Florida after this. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Now Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
He's got to find a way to hold on to that one. I mean, you're right on the doorstep of the end zone. And listen, I understand that hit is coming. But guess what? That hit's coming whether you catch it or not. And you get paid to make the difficult catches. And I would classify that one as tough, but you got to make that catch. Give your team a chance.
And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
Feels like they needed that sack this entire drive. It feels like the defense was really on their heels. The offense was taking it to them really however they wanted to. So to be able to take a deep breath now, disrupt the rhythm of the drive by getting that sack, that might go a long way now to allow them to get off the field.
So on 4th down, the Dolphins turn to Jason Sanders for the field goal try. This just a little more than a chip shot. 32-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And the Dolphins move out in front. The new score, 17-14.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
Here's Williams on the return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Saints offense and receiver Rashid Shaheed set for their next drive. 1st and 10. Carr working out of the gun. Brought in by Chris Olave. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
We've really seen both teams have a lot of success moving the ball throughout this entire first half, and just seems this possession is going to be more of the same as they start this drive.
So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. They'll work the middle here with Kamara, and not a lot there. Only up to about the 41. Second down and 8. They'll run a draw now. It's Kamara. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Shotgun draw, trying to catch him off guard here, Mike, but the defense was having none of it. Thought it took a little too long to develop. Gave that defense enough time to get back there. Stop him for no gain.
They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. In motion is Hill. Carr from the gun on under pressure, and down he goes. They got him.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now their pass protection is breaking down and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
On comes the punter now, as he is on to punt for New Orleans. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The home team's offense headed back to take over once more. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. On the ground to start the drive, it's Achane. Up the sideline to the 40. And he'll wind up out of bounds past the 45-yard line. Can't ask for much more. 22 yards on the first play of the drive.
Big hole up the middle. The interior of this offensive line did a great job clearing some space. The back saw it quick, and he hit it. And next thing you know, he was in the secondary for a big pickup.
Hill brought in motion. Once again, it's Achane. It's a short pickup, taking this to the 49. That's Chase Young off the edge with the tackle. On play action, it's Tagovailoa. A marker comes in as he goes down. It is a sack, and that flag definitely in the area of holding. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Tua gonna throw. He'll get this out quickly to Hill.
They pick up a nice chunk play there through the air on 3rd down, but it's not quite enough to move the chains. Now the question is, how aggressive is this head coach willing to be as he tries to extend this drive?
Here's Jake Bailey now, as he's on to punt for Miami. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The visitors' offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down. They're going to go right back to Kamara. And he'll take this ahead for a gain of about 5, and here comes 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Carr. He lets one go, looking for Shaheed. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down.
We've already seen these two guys connect for a touchdown in this game, and had they been on the same page there, I think they would have been able to add to that total. Unfortunately for them, just a little bit off, and it falls incomplete.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The home team's offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Now it's Tua. Over the middle, it's taken in by Waddle. And he's close to a 1st down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
So often, the only way to combat the perfect blitz call is to beat the blitz with the ball. That's exactly what the quarterback does here. He's able to find his open man and get the ball out of his hand because he holds on to that ball for 1 count longer. It most likely was going to result in a sack.
Here comes Waddle on the jet sweep. And he'll have a Dolphins 1st down as the tackle's made at about the 38-yard line.
This is just another creative wrinkle that they can add to their offense to help move the chains. They don't do a ton of sweeps throughout the course of the game, but they do just enough here and there to keep the defense guessing.
Tua going to give it to Achane. And it's a short pickup to about the 42. Demario Davis there on the play. Here's a 2nd and 6. In motion, it's Waddle. Off play action, it's Tua. That's out to the flat, and it's complete. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7.
You get so caught up defending all of these weapons all over the field, and it's sometimes really easy to forget about the back. And in this case, the quarterback does a nice job just dropping the ball off in his check down, and he lets him do the rest.
In motion, it's Waddle. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Fake the handoff. Now, Tua. He'll take a shot here for the end zone. That one broken up. It's incomplete. All over him down the field. It'll set up 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to target him in the end zone, you better come correct, man, because this guy, he embraces those moments of one-on-one coverage when it matters the most, and I think he just saved 6 by getting his hands on that one.
Tua now on 3rd down. He'll let this go deep for the end zone. That is caught. What a throw. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown, Miami. So they take the shot downfield, and it is caught in the end zone for a touchdown. What a big play that is, Greg.
Absolutely, Mike. And the key to a play like this is when the ball travels this far in the air, they teach you, don't look back, look up, because that's where the ball will be. And in this case, he was able to secure it and come away with a big touchdown.
Now Sanders on for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Dolphins go up by 10. 24-14 is their lead. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. On the return, it's Williams. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The visitors' offense ready to take over once more. The deficit is 10, 24-14. So work to do as they come up for 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Kamara. The defense stringing him out. No gain back to the original line of scrimmage.
I just don't love the look of this offense so far in this game, Mike. I mean, this first half, they've been flat, they've been lethargic, there hasn't been a lot of urgency, and we saw it again on this last play. Simple handoff, no gain, same story.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. His pass taken in by Shaheed. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
Mike, you know what we used to call those plays? No, 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 yes. Because that's exactly what was going through the mind of the coach on the sideline when the quarterback decided to throw that ball into really tight coverage.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Carr. This one complete right side. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
Open man, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. In motion is Hill. 2nd down, Carr. That's over the middle and taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a first down.
And the Saints are going to be set up with 1st and goal. He couldn't quite break the plane, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
What a great run down here inside the red zone, Mike. It's so important that you still can run the ball. Great job here by the back. I thought for a minute he was going to score. He gets it all the way down inside the 1, and I wouldn't be surprised if they let him finish this drive off.
Here's Carr throwing from the pistol. This is caught toward the side of the end zone. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Saints. And the show continues. What a first half he's had, Greg. A 3rd touchdown pass with that one.
Mike, what stood out to me the most so far is just the amount of space these guys have had to operate in. I think if I'm this defensive coordinator, me and my staff at halftime are revisiting this game plan. They obviously felt good about it coming in, but I don't think there's anything to feel good about thus far.
Groupie now for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Saints cut the lead to 3, 24-21. After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. On the return, Malik Washington. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. Tyreek Hill getting ready for this next drive along with the rest of the Miami offense. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in the first half, it's resulted in a big play that is borne out by those eye-popping numbers. Tua now on 1st down. He finds the open man, Braxton Berrios. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
Tagovailoa working out of the pistol. A throw left side, but it's incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
On 2nd down, Achane. And he'll push his way ahead for a gain of 2. Willie Gay with the stop. They're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Tua. Now a screen set up for Achane. The screen works for 10 yards and a first down.
So far here early, Mike, the key for this offense has been their ability to maintain possession by converting on these 3rd downs. It's going to be a big storyline the rest of the way. This defense has to find a way. When they force 3rd down, they got to get off the field.
A couple of first downs, and the football's out to the 48-yard line as they come up 1st and 10. They'll motion the tight end, Smith. And he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play.
Well, give him some credit. Initially, that looked like it was going to be a sack. He's able to escape the pressure and get away, picks up a little bit of yardage, but at least he avoids taking that shot.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. Pressure gets there, and down he goes.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
3rd and 6. Hill brought in motion. Throwing on 3rd down, Tungo Vailoa. He'll try to run for it.
Great reaction by the defense. At first, Mike, it looked like there was enough room out there for the quarterback to pick this one up himself, but they were able to rally to the ball, and I think the officials are going to mark him just short.
So, 2 minutes to play in a back-and-forth first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on 4th down. Hill brought in motion. Here we go on 4th down with Tua. He's going to air this one out, looking for Hill. And he's into the end zone. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown, Dolphins. That's his 2nd touchdown so far here in the first half. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer, because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
Sanders here for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Dolphins add on one more as they extend their 2nd quarter lead. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. On the return, here's Mims. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and veteran Alvin Kamara set to take over once more. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Carr now. To the left side and pulled in. Valdez-Scantling. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Carr working out of the gun. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. A give up the middle with Kamara. And he'll find some space, taking it for 6 out to the 26-yard line. Here's their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time this afternoon. Now, fair catch called, and he's going to take it out beyond the 25-yard line. Now, Tua and the Miami offense head out for their next possession. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. He spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. A throw on the move, is caught. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Man in motion is Berrios. From the gun, here's Tua. That's caught by Smith on the right side. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the 1st down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can draw up all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Hill brought in motion. On play action, it's Tagovailoa. Now he takes off.
And this is one of the cases, Mike, where defenders, they get their eyes in the wrong spot. They call it eye discipline. He catches them looking elsewhere. It allows him to get upfield and make this 3rd down a lot more manageable.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. Man in motion is Berrios. Play action. Tagovailoa. Look wide. Get this one complete. It'll be a pickup of 10. Good for a Dolphins 1st down. So, we hit halftime here in South Florida, and the Dolphins are in the lead. As we head north to Orlando, we're going to join the coach, Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Michael, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the halftime report. The Dolphins got some strong play out of their quarterback, number 1, Tua Tagovailoa. He threw a 1st quarter touchdown pass, then 2 more in the 2nd quarter, a 3-touchdown half. And he may just be getting started.
Coach, thank you. Not a rest at the break for the defensive coordinators, trying to figure out how to stop these offenses as we get ready for the 2nd half. Across the 20, they'll mark them down before the 25-yard line, and that's where the offense will take over. The Saints offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
2nd and a yard. Here's Kamara. And he will have the 1st down. Not a huge run, but enough to move the chains.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. 2nd and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
Ball out to the 35-yard line as they come up for 1st and 10. It's a give now to Kamara. And he'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down. Carr. To the left side, in the hands of Hill. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. To throw is Carr. Throw left side, that's Johnson. That's 13 more on that play, and quickly another 1st down.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
And a good run there. Gonna get him 5 yards. Now a 2nd down throw from Carr. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
He'll get that one to Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
Here's a toss to the right for Kamara. And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
They'll motion their tight end Johnson. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
And the big guys up front in the offensive line just continue to not be on the same page. And we've seen it time and time again here today. This pass rush remains one step ahead of them, and it's the quarterback who continues to pay the price.
Here's Blake Grupe for the Saints. A field goal try. This one from 39 yards out. Grupe's kick is good. And the Saints are able to get it back within a score.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
He made the field goal a moment ago. Now Grupe back out to kick it away. Here's Eskridge now to return it. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa making their way back out. And we show you some of the highlights, and there have been plenty to choose from. 3 touchdown passes and some other big-time throws as well. Certainly dialed in and on top of his game right throughout this one. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Hill brought in motion. A play fake. Now Tua to throw. And the quarterback scrambling, maneuvers his way back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all he can get out of that one.
Give him credit for keeping this play alive as long as he could. This easily could have gone down for a loss, but He's kind of able to find his way forward and at least get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. They'll run this one straight ahead with Achane. He'll manage only a couple. Demario Davis there on the play. From the gun on 3rd down, Tunga Vailoa. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it, continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
The visitors' offense and the wideout getting set to go once more. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Carr. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. A pickup of 12 yards. 1st down, New Orleans.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here. He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
Second down, Carr. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
Here's 3rd and 2. Here's Carr. Open man is Shaheed. That's complete. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense, like we saw here, it's a lot more simpler. Understand the concept of the play, understand where the holes in the defense are, and get there and be friendly to the quarterback. And if you're open, stay open. That's NFL route running. That's what the best guys do. All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
It'll be a run out of the gun with Kamara. Good running there. He's got the 1st down inside the 30.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a 1st down.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Now, Carr. There's that man again. Another catch.
In a lot of offenses, Mike, these quick passes to the wide receivers really fall under the run category. Of course, they're going to go down as a forward pass, but to a lot of offensive coordinators in the league, it's a lot easier to pick up first and second down yardage on these quicks than it is to turn around and hand it off to your running back and count on blocking everybody.
Carr now on second down. That's out to the flat, and it's complete. Can he get away? No, he's taken down behind the line. Good job by the defense with a negative play.
To play corner in this league, Mike, you have to have great reactions and instincts. In this case, he trusts those instincts from the jump, and he's able to send the offense going backwards as a result.
Here's Carr throwing from the pistol. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier. So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
He made the field goal a moment ago. Now Groupie back out to kick it away. Washington now to return it. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Dolphins offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
Now, H.A. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. Third down and 9. Hill brought in motion. Throwing on third down, Tungo Vailoa. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Saints offense and their running back set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. Open man is Valdez-Scantling. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive.
Nice way to start the drive here. Really good protection by the guys up front. Good decision by the quarterback to find his read. Ball's accurate, ball's on time. Now they're able to start this drive and get on the move the right way.
Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it is Jamal Williams. He'll take this ahead. It's a pickup of 3. Jalen Phillips in on the stop. They face 2nd down and 7. Carr to throw. This one complete to Hill. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Really nice job by the interior of this offensive line. It typically just takes one guy to distort the defense to give the back enough room to operate, and that's exactly what they did here, and it led to a big gain.
1st and 10 now from the 36. Carr working out of the gun. A toss left side, caught by his running back. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Now Carr. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
It's like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points.
That one is caught in the back of the end zone. Alvin Kamara, touchdown, New Orleans. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
Groupie now, on for the extra point. The kick is good. The Saints go up by a field goal as they lead it by 3. After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. Here's Eskridge now to return it. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill heading back on the field. And you see the numbers for him into this 3rd quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open and electric throughout. Play action. Tagovailoa. He's got him in wide open. That's Waddle. 18 yards. What a great way to start the drive. It's a first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
Second down and 8. Tua. Now a screen set up for Achane. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. From the gun, here's Tua. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Punt team headed out for the Dolphins as they are forced to kick for the 6th time today. They will get away from that one, and they're going to have tremendous field position. This ball hits and goes out of bounds. The Saints offense and Derek Carr set to take over once more. And he's had it going in the first half. Really had his way with the secondary. They have been powerless to stop him. Now they'll try to keep it going. And the defense thinking they have the safety here, but the spot is just outside the goal line. Good play, but no 2 points. They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. On 2nd down, a run with Williams. And he'll get this very close to a first down. A nice run there. He'll just end up a little bit short.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
Carr from the gun on 3rd down. To the left side, in the hands of Hill.
When you decide to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, typically, Mike, what you're doing is you start from the top down. If you have the big shot downfield, take it. If not, the quarterback works through his progression, finds the medium target, picks up a first down.
First down throw for Carr. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And he'll be brought down on what will be the final act here in this 3rd quarter. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. On the handoff, it's Kamara. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a first down. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. So they come to the line for first down and 10. In motion is Hill. On first down, Carr. That one into the hands of Hill. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. They'll work the middle here with Kamara. And he'll get this close to the first down. It's a pickup of 4, but it still leaves 3rd and short. They'll try and run for this with Kamara. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the game to nothing.
On first down, they'll stay with Kamara on the ground. Not much happening there, just a short gain. Here's a 2nd and 9. They'll go again here with Kamara. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Carr. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
At this point in the game, Mike, it really starts coming down to the number of possessions. So that's a huge 1st down conversion, fresh set of downs. Now, the balance is stay aggressive and maintain the ball, but also start working this clock.
They'll get creative here on the jet sweep. And he's not going to get away. They'll knock him back to his own territory. They get him on the other side of midfield.
When you come across on a jet sweep, Mike, you're hoping once you get the ball, all you see is green grass and open space. Well, in this case, he had a lot of unhappy defenders waiting for him, and they're able to put him down behind the line.
Now, a 2nd down throw from Carr. He'll look middle here. It's caught by Hill. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. Open man, right side. He's got it. He'll get out of bounds, a gain of 8, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down.
The most impressive thing about this drive, Mike, has really just been their efficiency. They've just continued to pick up 1st downs, fresh sets of downs. We just saw there with that 3rd down conversion, continue to possess the ball. These opportunities to come away with points continue to go up.
They'll go play action with Carr. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells. So they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that.
A gain there of 10 yards. It's good for a Saints 1st down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
A pickup of 10, and it's going to set up 1st and goal. Carr. And this throw out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Another shot at it from the 9. 2nd down and goal. They'll motion their tight end Johnson. On the give, this is Kamara. Stopped at the 6, and that sets up 3rd and goal. Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there. making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
And this one, right down the middle. It's good. A big 3 points as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
Washington now to return it. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Out comes Miami and the offense to get started on their next drive. The deficit, 6 points. So a touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. Right away, they'll try a jet sweep. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Second and 7. A shotgun snap for Tua. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him. His unit has been getting worked up front all day in pass protection.
They need one right now. 3rd and long. A play fake. Now 2 of the 3. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
This has been a masterful game plan defensively. I mean, not only have they found their mismatches and been able to exploit them, it's led to 7 sacks so far. I mean, even when the offense seems to make an adjustment, Mike, the defense just still seems to be one step ahead of them.
Punt team comes out. Dolphins going to kick it away. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. Now fair catch is taken back inside the 40. The Saints offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. And the drive begins with a run by Williams. Not much there, maybe a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now, Carr. The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
Big time opportune sack there by the defense. Mike, they're right on the cusp of field goal range. You can't allow this to become a 2-possession ball game here in the 4th quarter. Massive 3rd down coming up here. See if they can get off the field and get the ball back to their offense.
This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. Back is Carr. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
And no return on this one. Fair catch signaled for and taken. The Dolphins offense and their big play wideout getting set for their next possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Achane. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The offense is trying to test the edges of the perimeter of this defense, Mike, but the defense is just too quick to the ball. Total team defense, pursuit, 11 hats to the ball carrier. It's exactly what we saw here. Keep that gain to nothing.
Hill brought in motion. Fake the handoff. Now, Tua. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way.
Quarterback does a nice job here sensing the pressure pretty quickly, realizes he doesn't have a ton of time to operate from within the pocket, decides to tuck the ball and rely on his legs. He's able to pick up a positive play.
Hill brought in motion. Tua now on third down. And that is incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the fourth quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
And now here comes the punt team. A fair catch. He's going to call it and take it right around his own 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout. There's that man again, another catch. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
The tight end Moreau is in motion. A run here with Kamara. This will be a Saints first down. Good running gets him to about the 44. Throwing is Carr. That's caught by Hill. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
Now Kamara. And he's going to have a first down. Good run down inside the 45-yard line.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
On first and 10, Carr. He'll look over the middle and find his running back. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
And what really stands out about this drive is the ability of the quarterback to really spread the ball around to multiple targets. It puts so much pressure on the defense deciding who do they want to account for, because no matter who they try to take away, the quarterback's doing a nice job of finding the open man.
Set to go now on first and 10. Carr working out of the gun. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line.
Mike, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. The easiest down to throw the ball in the NFL is first down. I hate when teams wait till later in the possession to throw the ball. So early first down completion, you're on the plus side of the field. Now you're thinking strike, touchdown, field goal. But either way, I'm coming away with points.
And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. So, 2 minutes to play here in the 2nd half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. They're going to go right back to Kamara. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. They'll run. It's Kamara. He's going nowhere. That call, not the right one. It's going to bring up 4th down. So a pressure kick coming here for Blake Grupe. This to make it a 2-possession lead. And this one right down the middle. It's good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through and they get 3.
Here's Eskridge now to return it. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The home team's offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They trail here by a couple of scores. The margin is 9 as this drive starts with 1st down. They'll drop to throw. Now a screen set up for Achane.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. He'll get this over the middle to Smith. And that's a 1st down. It will be a gain of 8.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the 1st down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st down.
That's taken in by Achane. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
I think the days where cornerbacks are either unwilling or unable to be involved in the run game, I think those days are over, Mike. I think when you look around the landscape of today's NFL, yes, you have to cover, but you also have to be able to come up and tackle.
And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tagovailoa. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. That one intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
Now, out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. They start with the lead and the football, and they do so with tremendous field position. It's 1st and 10. Victory formation, defense powerless to stop. And that should just about do it. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So this one a win for the visiting Saints. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, they got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.